At the start of the story, we see that in the deep silence of the night, a boy is wandering in the mountains looking for prey. Suddenly, he sees a strange egg. It is lying in an open field, and a light white smoke is coming out of it, as if it is breathing. The boy is shocked. He carefully picks it up and looks at it. The egg is completely safe. No crack, no scratches, only a strange silence that makes him feel uneasy. Holding the egg, he goes straight to the pork shop in the market. His plan is clear. He wants to trade this Japanese egg for 1 kilo of pork kidneys to become stronger. The shopkeeper looks at the egg and his face turns pale. At first, he thinks the boy has come to eat it, but when he learns that the egg came from a restricted area, he becomes terrified. In fear, he quickly puts the egg back into the boy's hands and says, "This belongs to the king. I won't risk my life." Without delay, he pushes the boy out of the shop. The boy's about to go to another meat shop when he suddenly sees rude soldiers spreading fear in the market. They enter every shop, question people, and take food by force. Now the boy has no choice. Disappointed, he returns to the small village of Thulang. His name is Aragon. He is a boy who has lived his whole life without a job, surviving only through hard work and hunting. His mother left him long ago, and now his only support is his uncle, who raised him like his own son. When Aragon reaches the village, his cousin comes and starts teasing him as usual. They grew up together, so even though they tease each other, there is love between them. Often, they practice fighting with weapons for fun. If their fathers didn't stop them, they would fight all night. Aragon still doesn't understand what he has found. The strange egg becomes a mystery to him. He tells no one and secretly hides it in the cattle field, but his curiosity doesn't stop. One day he takes the egg out again and looks closely. He taps it with his fingers like a watermelon, but it feels hollow inside. This is very strange. Before he can think more, he is called to help in the field. That day, his cousin Roran says he is going to follow his dream. He doesn't want to stay stuck in this valley forever. Aragon feels hurt, but also happy for him. Aragon and his uncle support Roran's decision. Before leaving, the uncle offers him silver coins, but Roran refuses, saying, "I will earn my own money and take care of my family myself." After Roran leaves, Aragon's life feels colorless. Everything is the same: home, fields, mountains, but his heart feels empty. One day, while Aragon is sitting sadly, something shocking happened. The blue egg, which had been silent for weeks, suddenly starts shaking, as if something inside wants to come out. Aragon jumps up. A strange sound comes from the egg, and slowly the shell starts cracking. Moments later, a small winged creature comes out. Its face looks like a dinosaur, but its eyes shine brightly. Aragon's heartbeat almost stops. It is a dragon. It is said that a dragon egg only hatches for a person whose fate is deeply connected to it. Otherwise, the egg can stay closed for centuries. The one chosen becomes a dragon rider, chosen by destiny. And today, that person is Aragon. The baby dragon is very weak. Shaking and stumbling, it slowly walks toward Aragon. Its big, innocent blue eyes look like it is seeing the world for the first time. Suddenly, it spreads its small wings, creating a light breeze. Aragon is amazed by its innocent and unique behavior. Without thinking, he reaches out to touch it. The moment his fingers touch the dragon's skin, a bright flash of light explodes. Aragon jumps back in fear. A loud blast echoes, so loud that people far away wake up. A beautiful woman also wakes up, but instead of fear, she smiles slightly, as if she knows something big has begun. Long ago, this land was full of dragons and their riders, called dragon knights. They had great power, stronger than any army or magic. Because of them, there was peace for centuries. Cities grew, and people felt safe, but long peace became a trap. The dragon knights grew proud of their power and believed they were above everyone. This led to destruction. They started a terrible war, killing their own brothers for power and greed. The worst disaster came when a dragon knight named Galbatorix betrayed everyone. Using dark magic, he killed all the dragons and dragon riders. In the end, all power remained with him, and he became king of the continent. But his rule was not peace, it was fear. Anyone who disobeyed him disappeared. Those who dared to resist hid deep in the forests, waiting for hope and a miracle. One day, Arya, an elf princess, discovered something that could change the world. Galbatorix's dragon had laid a new egg. Knowing how dangerous it was, Arya stole it, risking her life. When Galbatorix found out, he became furious and sent his most powerful dark magician, Durza, to retrieve it. Durza destroyed everyone who tried to stop. In the end, Arya was trapped by dark magic. When Durza demanded the egg, Arya made her final move. She spoke an ancient spell and sent the egg far away to an unknown place. But she was captured and imprisoned. Elsewhere in the forest, Aragon finds the dragon egg while hunting. The next morning, it hatches in his arm. The baby dragon is named Sapphira, small, innocent, and bright-eyed. Suddenly, Aragon feels a burning pain in his hand. A strange mark appears on his palm. He doesn't understand it, but he forgets everything when he looks at Sapphira. When Sapphira Saphira makes strange sound. Aragon thinks she is hungry and brings milk. She ignores it and instead eats a large rat in one bite. Aragon realizes she is a meat eater. Slowly, Aragon finds Saphira strange but very lovable. He decides to raise her in secret. Saphira also accepts Aragon as everything to her. Meanwhile, Durza uses dark magic on Arya and learns the truth. The egg is gone. When Galbatorix hears this, he is terrified. A new dragon rider means the end of his rule. He orders Durza to kill the new dragon rider before he becomes powerful. Durza climbs a high platform and begins chanting dark spells in his deep, terrifying voice. The words cut through the air, and suddenly the ground began to crack. In front of everyone appeared a terrifying army of monsters. They had only one goal: to erase all dragon riders from the world. That same night, Aragon went to the village tavern. As he sat there, he heard broken, painful voices. A mother was crying, saying that her 16-year-old sons had been taken into Galbatorix's army. No one knew if they would ever return. In a corner sat a lonely man. His name was Brahm. Calmly and without fear, he spoke. Life was not always like this. This land once had peace. There was less blood and less fear. His voice then changed, as if opening a door to the past. There was a time of dragons and dragon riders, powerful warriors who never lost a war. Their dragons ruled the sky, and they fought to protect their land. People listened in complete silence. Then Brahm said, until one dragon rider, Galbatorix, betrayed his own people. The tavern went silent. Soldiers rushed in and dragged Brahm away. But as he was taken, there was a shine in his eyes, hope, as if he still believed the age of dragon riders would return. Brahm's words sank deep into Aragon's heart. For the first time, he wondered if he himself could be that dragon rider. Something sleeping inside him woke up. He ran to Saphira and began training her to fly. He felt danger was coming and wanted her to grow strong quickly. After many falls and painful attempts, Saphira finally spread her huge wing and rose into the sky. Aragon smiled with joy, but moments later his happiness turned to fear. Saphira disappeared. Aragon froze, confused, broken. He thought she no longer needed him. Suddenly his palm burned. The mark on his hand glowed, as if calling him. He looked up, and his heart stopped. From the sky came a massive dragon, falling like lightning. It was Saphira, but now hundreds of times bigger. Her blue scales shone. Sharp horns rose from her head, and the air shook with every breath. Aragon stepped back in fear. Just days ago, she was a tiny baby dragon. Saphira landed in front of him. Aragon suddenly realized she could hear his thought, his fear, confusion, and shock. Brahm's words now felt real. The age of dragon riders had returned. Through telepathy, Aragon understood her voice. He remembered the first moment he touched her. The mark on his hand had formed a lifelong bond. That mark declared him an official dragon rider. Saphira told him she had waited thousands of years for her rider. She believed that together they would end the darkness in this world. Aragon remembered Brahm's hopeful eyes. His story had been cut short, but his words still echoed. Without delay, Aragon quietly entered Brahm's house, sure that more dragon secrets were hidden there. On the table lay a thick, dusty book with strange symbols, a magic handbook filled with dragon secrets. As Aragon read, his curiosity burned stronger. Suddenly, the door creaked open. Brahm stood there staring at the book, his face hard. Aragon asked nervously, "Is it all true? Dragons? Dragon riders? The legends?" Fear flashed in Brahm's eyes. He avoided the question. "Stay away from this path, boy. It brings only trouble." He pushed Aragon outside. Aragon understood. Brahm was hiding something, but he said nothing about Saphira. After Aragon left, Brahm opened an old chest. Inside lay a shining sword, sealed for years. The sword of a dragon rider. The truth was clear. Brahm was once a famous dragon rider himself, living in hiding. On his way home, anger burned inside Aragon. Brahm's behavior raised more questions. Then he passed a butcher shop and heard terrifying sound. He slowly looked through the window and froze. A horrible monster was torturing the shopkeeper. "Where is Aragon?" it roared. In pain, the man gave Aragon's home location. The monster killed him without mercy. Blood filled the room. Aragon hid under a table, barely breathing, and survived. When the monster left, Aragon ran with all his strength toward home. He had only one thought: warn his uncle so he could escape. Suddenly, a huge shadow of wings fell over him. Saphira had already felt his fear. She swooped down and lifted Aragon into the air. Aragon panicked and cried, "Put me down! I can't leave my family." Saphira's voice echoed in his mind. "That monster is too fast. If we return, you will die." But Aragon struggled. Finally, she turned back toward the farm. When Aragon entered the house, his world shattered. His uncle, the man who raised him, was dead. The room was covered in blood. Aragon collapsed, shaking, unable to breathe. Saphira came to comfort him, but Aragon's grief turned into rage. He screamed, "This is your fault. If you hadn't stopped me, I could have saved him." Saphira fell silent, hurt and sad. She spread her wings and flew away. Aragon dropped to his knees, crying until he could barely breathe. Suddenly, someone appeared at the door. Aragon grabbed a burning stick and rushed out, but was stopped. It was Brahm. Seeing the mark on Aragon's hand, Brahm understood everything. He lifted Aragon and prepared to leave. Aragon stopped him. He wanted to bury his uncle. Without Without a word, Brahm set the house on fire. Flames rose and memories turned to ash. Pulling Aragon away, Brahm warned, "If the Razak find us, everything will be lost." Then Brahm put Aragon on a horse and rode away from that dangerous land at great speed. Thick forests, loud waterfalls, and beautiful hills passed by. The views gave both fear and relief at the same time. Finally, they stopped on the top of a high hill. People said this place was a dragon veil. Brahm said, "Quick, call your dragon. Only she can protect us." At first, Aragon did not understand, but Brahm's serious voice warned him that this was all Galbatorix's plan. Saphira had been moving step by step only to protect Aragon. Aragon looked up at the sky. In his mind, he apologized to Saphira and tried to calm himself. His heart felt heavy, but there was hope. Just a short distance away, his friend and partner, his dragon Saphira, was keeping him safe. Brahm knew dragons deeply. He stepped forward to look closely at Saphira. His eyes moved over her strong body and growing muscle. Within moments, Brahm understood. This was not an ordinary dragon. She was a living fighting machine, and she would become even stronger. Brahm said seriously, "You are now the last dragon rider left in this world. Galbatorix will send people to hunt you. There is only one path left. Find the rebel fighters hiding in the cave. With their help, you can defeat the cruel king and take revenge for your uncle." But Aragon was afraid. He did not want to be a dragon rider. He knew the bond between a dragon and rider was special. A dragon hatches only for the person it chooses. Once the bond is made, the dragon stays loyal forever. But this bond also had pain in it, like slavery in old times. A dragon must protect its rider. If the rider dies, the dragon dies too. But if the dragon dies, the rider lives. Galbatorix never wanted dragon riders to return. He gave Durza a final warning: kill the dragon rider before he grows strong. Durza reached the Razak main base. Long ago, the Razak were Galbatorix's enemy, but Durza had controlled them and turned them into guards. His order was clear: bring back the dragon rider's head. Aragon told Saphira to fly in the sky during the day to watch for danger. They would meet only at night. They moved non-stop toward the rebel base, but Durza's spies were tracking them. On the road, Aragon saw demons robbing travelers. He thought, "I have a dragon now. This should be easy," but Brahm stopped him. "Having a dragon doesn't mean fighting without thinking," Brahm warned. He picked up a stick and defeated the demons in a few quick moves. Aragon understood. Strength alone was not enough. Wisdom and strategy mattered. Brahm said, "Ahead lies real life and death battle. Brave actions without thinking can get you killed. Our real enemy is Durza, who controls thousands of demon warriors. If you want to live, you must become a true dragon rider." Aragon stayed silent. Fear and sadness showed in his eyes. Suddenly, he grew weak and sat down. Brahm stood near him and softly spoke spells. When the spell ended, fire burst out from a pile of wood. Aragon asked in shock, "What was that?" Brahm calmly replied, "Just a magic trick." But Aragon felt Brahm was hiding something bigger. Brahm was skilled in magic too. During their journey, they passed a strange village. Brahm suddenly felt uneasy, as if an unseen force was there. He told Aragon to buy dry food while he walked away. Inside the village, Aragon met a beautiful woman. She smiled and said, "I am Angela, a witch. I understand stars and lands very well." She saw Aragon's sadness and said seriously, "You are heading toward great danger. Everything started the day you found the dragon egg." Aragon felt confused. He remembered seeing this woman in his dreams. He left the house carefully. Suddenly, someone grabbed his throat from behind. He was in danger, but Brahm appeared just in time and saved him. The attacker was a demon. Angela had sent it. As they tried to escape, a group of demons surrounded them. Brahm tried to draw his sword but was stopped. The attack grew stronger. Aragon used his bow, but the arrows barely slowed the demons. When things seemed hopeless, Aragon took a deep breath and shouted. Something awakened inside him. His arrows turned into burning magic fire. The demons were blasted away. But after using that power, Aragon fainted. When he woke up, the mark on his hand burned with pain. Brahm explained, "That fire came from the mark. It connects you to your dragon's power. It activates when a dragon rider is in danger." Brahm warned, "This power is too strong for normal humans. A dragon rider must control magic carefully. Magic always has a cost. It drains the body. If used wrongly, it can kill the user." Aragon looked at the mark. It was no longer just pain, it was power. Now he knew the real fight was still ahead. He had to think before every step. Brahm prepared a special saddle for Saphira. Aragon climbed onto her back. She took him to the edge of a deep cliff. Looking down, Aragon's body shook with fear. Before he could react, Saphira spread her wings and dived down at high speed. Wind tore through his hair and clothes. They fell nearly 100 meters. Slowly, Aragon learned to trust her. Control was not about force, it was about trust. Suddenly, Aragon saw goblins approaching. One ran toward Brahm. Without delay, Aragon ordered Saphira to land. They crashed through branches. Aragon was thrown off and rolled on the ground. Saphira hit a tree and struggled to balance. Then Brahm stepped forward without fear. He took the goblin's attack to protect Aragon and shocked everyone. His sword skills were flawless. His movements were calm and deadly. In seconds, the enemy was defeated. Aragon stood in awe. Now he was certain. Brahm was no ordinary man. They quickly quickly applied herbs to Saphira's injured wing. Brahm warned Aragon, "You must protect Saphira. Don't risk your life carelessly. Today, luck saved us." And with this, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next amazing story. Take care. Bye.